Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us from Maine. And hi, Avril. How are you doing today from Ireland? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. And I am coming to you live from my craft/dining room. I'm moving around the house. Hi, Sue. Hi, Mary. Hey, Lori. Hi, Stacy. It's so nice to see you all. Hi, Dolores. I'm so glad you're here today. And a huge shout out to Roxanne, who is behind the badge today and helping us out. And if you share the live stream on your social media during today, you will be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. And today, our conversation, we are talking two things today. We're talking about kind of shifting a little bit from florals over to some bold and graphic cards. And I'm also talking about shopping your stash. So I got some favorites that I wanted to bring out that I thought would be really great for some bold and graphic cards. And I'm going to pair those up with some new ones. So it's so nice to see you. Sue, I'm doing great today. It's a little chilly over here near Boston. And Avril, thank you so much for sharing. Again, if you share this during the live stream, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. Hi, Teresa. Thank you so much, Kathy, for sharing. And I hope everybody's doing okay. Hi, Joan. Hi, Cece from Sweden. Hi, Kelly. Oh, West Texas must be really nice and warm over there. Christine, hi from Michigan. Nancy, I love it that you guys are all here today. So, oh, hi, Vicki, also from Massachusetts. Hello, my fellow Massachusettsian. It's so nice. Yes, Avril, I'm out of the kitchen, so that's good. But I am in my craft/dining room. And Sue, I know it's so cold. We are definitely getting into some January weather. Well, I'm going to shift down. And so today, like I said, our what I wanted to do today is I wanted to shop my stash, and I also wanted to add in and pair some ups. And I think I called this one today "Stepping Away from Florals." And so we're going to take a look at some bold and graphic cards. And Avril, you might, this one's for you out there, okay? So we're taking a look at some masculine ideas, but really cards are really meant for everybody. So even if it's got a flower on it, feel free to send it to whomever. It's really just the act of sending the card. That's really what the thing is that gives us joy and gives everyone else joy. So even if it's a graphic card, or a floral card, feel free. You're going to give that card. And that's really what I encourage you to do today is craft along with me. Let's make a couple of things. And I really encourage you to share that love and share that kindness of sharing that card with whomever it is that this card kind of thinks about. So it's so nice to see you today. All right, so I'm going to move my camera down and we're going to start out. If I get to them today, and I might be going a little fast, but I have three kind of big ideas using some of the stuff that we have. All right, so I'm going to start out with a little bit of stenciling using the Warp Speed stencil, and I'm going to go ahead and head on down as soon as I find where I need to go. Okay, so we're go ahead and down. And again, thank you guys so much for being here today, and thank you so much for taking some time to craft along with me. And what we're doing is we're looking at some bold and graphic cards. So what is it that makes a graphic card? What is it makes a bold card? And I'm kind of stepping a little bit away from florals. And please take a moment to share this live stream on your social media, and you will be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. And I know, Sue, this stencil is super cool. And I see it. I've used it a lot of different ways, and I use it in a lot of different applications. And it's really cool. I did a card where I did a galaxy background and then did these in white embossing powder. And that one's really good. So this one I'm shopping my stash and kind of taking this and using it. So I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to use this. And I have today our mini blending set. Really love this. And then I'm going to use neutral colors today because I like neutral colors for these kinds of bold and graphic cards. So I have the Lapis Lazuli ink set, and I also have the Greenfields ink set. And so, oh, thank you so much for sharing. And Peggy, I'm glad. I love this stencil too. It's a really super nice one. So I'm going to show you how to get a little bit more out of this stencil. Let me just tape this down. And I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on my paper. And since I'm using the tiny brush here, I don't really need to like do a lot more because my surface will be pretty protected. And let me just put this one down. So this is the Warp Speed stencil. And I've done this where I've kind of offset it and that looks really cool. I'm going to go for it today, and I'm just going to go smack dab in the middle of my card and put it right in. Oh, Kathy, I'm glad you have some nice weather out there. And this is a super good stencil. All right, I'm going to grab the Eastern Sky ink, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink this up. And this is a nice, again, we're working on some neutral colors, shopping my stash and taking a look at bold and graphic cards. So that's what I want to make today. I'm kind of stepping away from florals and I'm making some bold and graphic cards. And these are cards that are really for anybody. You might think about them as more like masculine cards, but really they're for anybody because it's really the act of sending the card. That's really where the kindness is. And I think even of receiving that card. I love getting cards in the mail. Snail mail is really it's just super fun when you get in there and all among the bills. There's something in there that's like, hey, you know what? Somebody's thinking about you a little bit. Yes, playing around the lines. This is a really neat one. And I'm going to show you guys, after I get this color down, I'm going to show you one way that you can kind of step this up a little bit. This is also really cool with embossing ink. I've even foiled with this stencil by using some foiling paste. And it's just nice and clean. And I really do like nice and clean kind of things. All right, so I'm getting my ink around in there. Now, this, when you take it off, I love the reveal. And it just looks like this big, huge piece of fireworks. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to shift it. And by shifting it, I'm going to be able to get in a little bit more color. And all I'm doing is just kind of playing where the shift is. And then I'm going to get that down. And now I'm going to come in, and I want to come in with Forest Glades. So, oh, Stacy, if you share today, if you share that you're enjoying our live stream today, you can be entered to win a $15 gift card. Roxanne is behind the badge, and she will announce the winner of the gift card at the end of the live stream today. So if you share during our live stream, you'll be entered to win. And if you don't have this stencil already, or if you do, grab it out. But this is a really great stencil to have. And I'm also shopping my stash today. Oh, gold glitter gel. Yeah, that one's super nice. This one's really nice to do with a lot of different things, I think. And so our other goal today is we are shopping our stash. So this is kind of an oldie but a goodie, in my opinion. I think it's from 2018, if I remember correctly. And all I've done, so I've laid down some blue in Eastern Sky, and now I'm just coming over it with green. Embossing paste is super nice with this. And just to give it a little bit more texture, I'm going to put some elements on in just a second that will lift this up. Okay. All right. So now we have both of these colors down. And if you wanted to come in with like some gold, or you wanted to come in with something else, but it just gives this really cool kind of starburst effect. And this is really nice and bold and graphic. All right. So now what I want to do, so I'm going to put this guy aside. So that was our Warp Speed stencil. And one of the things that I just purchased, and this one is also kind of been around, but I just picked it up, which is the Geo Frame stamp set. And I think that this is really cool. And so I wanted to play around with this today. And I love all of these shapes that are here, but I think I'm going to use this hexagon because that one's kind of different. But that's our piece. Now, the other thing that I pulled out of my stash, and this is also an oldie but a goodie, not that old, I should say, is this stamp called One Day at a Time. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a piece of paper in a second. I'm going to stamp one of these, and this together will make like a marbled background. But I'm going to use just one of them, and that's going to be the inset of this. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like. So I'm going to grab One Day at a Time. And yes, Teresa, and this is good. So this is, again, my goal this year is to shop my stash. I'm shopping my stash. And I want to see, what do I have that can kind of be incorporated with some of the new stuff that I've gotten. So these are all things that are, you know, that I've had, but I just don't always pull out because I kind of forget that they're there and things like that. So I like all of them, and they're all like a little bit different, but I'm going to grab this one in the corner. And these stamp, and they're beautiful. I think I'm just going to measure this for you. Yeah, it's 2.5. It's not a perfect square. Nope, it is. It's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So it's a nice little square. And I've done great background patterns with this, so I think it's pretty cool. Now I'm going to stamp this on my paper, and I'm going to stamp the geo frame on top of it, but we'll get there with that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. And what I want to do is I want to keep going with this mix of green and blue. So I'm going to use the lighter color in both of these sets. So I'm going to grab Iceberg, and I'm going to grab Frayed Leaf. And I'm going to do kind of no, I'm not. I'm going to do gray. What am I thinking? I had this all planned out, guys. I started switching it at the last minute. Because we're doing a little bit of masculine ideas, I'm going to grab the Gentleman's Gray stamp set. And what I want to do is I'm going to stamp this in the gray denim. All right. I was like... So again, this is One Day at a Time stamp set, and this makes this really cool marbled effect. So I'll show you when I put this down. And since there's 4 of these squares, oh, Carol, you're not too late. We just kind of started. All I did was I did one thing. We're hopefully going to make 3 cards today. And again, if you share this live stream while we are live, you will be entered to win a $15 gift card from Altenew. All right, so there is my One Day at a Time. So I'm going to peel this guy off. And then I'm going to grab that Geo Frames set, and I'm going to grab this hexagon. And I just think this hexagon is so cool. And I got to tell you, I bought this, oh gosh, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and this is my first time using it. I waited till today for you all. This is my first time using this. So what I wanted to do here is I'm going to take this geo frame, and I want to get the outside of it using platinum embossing powder. So I'm just going to, because this is my first time using this stamp, and this is just the frame that stamps. It's not the inside. It's just the frame. So I'm going to grab my embossing ink. And I know you all are saying it out there, and you can go ahead and yell at your screen right now. I do have powder. I know you were all out there, but Amy, what about the powder? I'm putting it on, I swear. All right, there we go. Got a little bit of powder. And then I'm going to push this down just to get a nice little adherence. And then I'm going to take my platinum embossing powder. And I think I have a paper here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And then I'm going to heat this up. And what I like about bold and graphic cards, it's kind of like this, having all of these layers. I think it's really nice to have all of these layers. Okay, that looks pretty good. I even got way too much embossing powder where I don't want it. All right, don't care about that. My ink was still a little wet, so I got a little bit where I don't want it. So I'm going to pull that off. But we might get some extras. We might have a little bonus embossing powder in there. All right. Okay, I'm putting that back in the jar. Then I'm going to heat this up and I'll show you, and then we'll cut it out and we'll see what it looks like. All right, I apologize for the noise. Doing a little heat embossing here. And what I already have on my work surface is the warp speed stencil, and that has been used with both the Eastern Sky and lapis lazuli from the lapis lazuli collection, and the forest glades from the green fields collection. All right, so that just gives this little bit of shine to the outside of our card. Now I don't know where they are, have the dies for these, but there's a set of coordinating dies, but I don't have them. But I do have a pair of scissors, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this out. And since it's all just kind of lines, I'm okay with that. I know it's a little rough, and I know you guys are out there going, "Oh boy, here she goes with a pair of scissors." If you don't know, I don't know how I made it out of kindergarten, because scissors and I have a little bit of a rough connection, but that's okay. I don't think I ever graduated from using the big scissors. All right, here we go. But since these are all straight lines, these geo frames, it's pretty easy to just kind of cut them, or to even use. There we go. All right. So I just wanted to put that together. So I kind of like this. It's very, it looks a little Superman on this one, I gotta say. It's kind of neat looking. All right, so that is our, so what we've done now here is we have our warp speed stencil with blue and green, and then I used this and inked it up with the gray denim, and then I have this platinum embossed image from the geo frames, and I like that right in the middle. And yes, the stencil is great, and you can do a lot of things with it. No, it's not vellum. It is it's just regular paper, so everything is just all on paper. And thanks, Harold. So now we got have a nice sentiment for this, and I have to say I like some of the stuff that I already have out. So the geo frames, if you're looking for stuff, has this really nice font that I think would be good for a graphic card. I thought the smile was like a little too cutesy, but I think I'm just going to grab a sentiment from the sentiment strips. And these are definitely essentials in my stash. And I know there's a sentiment strip 3, which I don't have. It is like a yes. Oh, I love it, Sarah. It's a hexagonal wormhole. It's just like you're looking into the depth of it. It's great. These are really great. And I know that there's a sentiment strip 3. And so I don't know. What do you guys think this would be? So I agree, Sarah. This is a portal to a phantom zone. I think I like this being, I feel like this is a birthday card. I don't know. What would you guys say? What's your sentiment for this one? Celebrating you today. Calls for a celebration. I want something a little bit bigger. Let me just take a second. I'm going to look. And I might pull one other thing from my stash. It might not be bad. I want it to be lighter. All right. What do you guys think? Birthday card? Okay. All right. Birthday it is. Okay. So I'm just pulling a couple of things. These make you so happy. Here for you. Hope you feel better soon. Sending you sweet birthday wishes. That's nice and long. I like that. But it's too long. So let me just double check. And then if I like that one. Oh, yeah. I know what I'm doing now. Okay. We got it. All right. So for this, because I have so much dark in there, I want to have something a little bit on the whiter side, just to kind of pop that against that, because the wormhole is a little bit dead. Oh, I like special day for a special friend. I wish we had that. Is that on here? That's a good sentiment. That is not on here. All right, so I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to grab my scrap piece of paper that I have, and let me get into frame so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing. So this was just a piece of paper that I used to stamp my geo frame. So I'm just going to stamp this as well. And I'm also going to use Versamark for this, or for, excuse me, embossing ink. And I'm going to put this into the platinum. I think another idea, I'm going to use platinum, but I thought the Caribbean sky would look kind of cool too, just to kind of keep going along and add a little bit more of the blue on there. But I'm going to stamp this in platinum. And one of the other things in my stash that I absolutely love and I reach for all the time are these right here. And these are called featured sentiments. And these are little dies that work perfectly with the simple sentiments, and you can use them in order to die cut those out, and they fit perfectly on there. I lost my platinum embossing powder. All right, so here we go. And I know you all cringe because I didn't use the embossing bag, but that's okay because I'm going to cut most of this out, so I'm all right with that. All right, so there is our sentiment. This calls for a celebration. And I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss this. And then we're going to put this, I'm going to cut it out with my featured sentiment die set. This is another great one in my stash. And let's take a look. Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Nancy. I'm going to do that just to show you guys. I like this calls for a celebration because it looks like there's fireworks, you know, from the warp speed stencil. So I think this calls for a celebration is kind of a good one. All right, let me show it to you guys landscape. Let's take a look there. And that's what's nice about the graphic cards is you can kind of use them in any which way. That's kind of cool. I like it that way too. That's kind of neat. Gosh, it does look like a phantom wormhole. I love it. All right, so I'm going to use this. And there's a whole bunch of different sizes here. And you can have it if you want it to be a little bit thicker. So that's too short. This one I think will be the right size. And then if I wanted like a thicker one, but the same length, I can do this. And then that will cut even more room around it. And so, which actually I might do. I think I'm going to do that. So even though I could crop it really, really close, I'm going to cut it this way. All right, so let me just cut this down. Screw that up. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is grab my mini blossom, which is right over here, and just tape this down and get it through my mini blossom. So I have this calls for a celebration. I'm using this die set to cut this out. This is the featured sentiments die set. And I like this because it's so fast and I don't have to worry about it like being straight in my stamping machine because I can kind of die cut it straight. That's the nice part about it. I can die cut it straight, or hopefully it will come out straight. Okay, let's roll this through, see what we got. I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape just to pop this up. And I haven't decided if I want to put foam tape on the bottom of my hexagon, but we'll see how it comes out. It's cute. So you can see how that is. I like it. Now I can run this through and get it so it's on the side, but I'm just going to use some scissors. I don't have my corner rounder with me, but I can round this, or you know what? I might just cut it straight because I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, I think I'm just going to round it this way. There is no way. Oh, that's close enough. All right, one more attempt and then I'm moving on. It's hard to do with the very large pair of scissors, you know. And no corner rounder. Okay, one more try, one more try, one more try. And here we go. All right, so I'd love to know, are you kind of like a Bold and Graphics? Are you kind of like these kind of cards? Oh, Anita, thank you so much. And it's and Rita, thank you so much. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to just kind of think about things in a different way. I was definitely thinking about this as a landscape, excuse me, as a portrait card, but I think the landscape looks pretty cool. And so there's our card. And so you can see that that white, because we have such a dark background and because this is thicker, it's going to help to kind of bring that up a little bit. All right, let me move this out of the way and let's put this together. Here it is. All right, I think I'm going to lay this guy flat. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. What do you guys think, portrait or landscape? So there's our portrait. And this calls for a celebration would come right out here. Or do we like it in landscape and it would come right out here? I think I'm going landscape. What do you guys think? Tell me, portrait or landscape? Which way do you think? Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. All right, we're going landscape on this one. I agree with you guys. Nice job. I think it looks really cool in the landscape, I gotta say. That's the hive mind. Always doing good. All right, I think I'm going to go this way too. All right, and then I'm going to pop this up, which is why I have tape right here. Oh, gee. Either way. Thanks, Joan. Thanks for the either way. I appreciate that. The sentiment dies are at Altenew. These are called featured sentiments. And Roxanne has put the link in. If you go up, like move up a little bit higher up in the chat, you can see the link for that. And these are good. I don't know if anybody else has these, but I use them all the time. And they're just something that I like the sizes. I like the width of them. I like the rounding. I kind of like a lot of things about them. And if I don't want my thing rounded, I just cut it straight. Or I don't worry about that part. And they're really great. So that's where these come from. And they work perfectly with the sentiment strips. The sentiment strips 1 and 2, and now there's a sentiment strip 3, which I do not own, but it is on my wish list. So it is something that will be coming home with me very, very soon. Thank you so much, Roxanne. Roxanne just put that in there, that featured sentiments die. Super great one to have in your stash. All right, so today we are stepping away from florals and taking a look at some bold cards and some bold designs. And so this is our first one where we have the Warp Speed stencil with the 1 day at a time marbleization and the geo frames are simple sentiments here and cut out with the featured sentiments die. So that's our first one. I like this. This is really great. And so thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this. And again, if you share this to Facebook or to your social media, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. All right, so that was our first card. So our second card, I wanted to kind of bring in a couple of different things. And I know I just said I'm stepping away from florals, but guess what? I'm about to bring in a floral. But I think with bold and graphic cards, I feel like florals, especially those florals that are in like silhouette, look really cool to balance out the bold and graphic design. So I'm bringing in fragile foliage. And this is a stamp set, although you see it's a little red down here. I haven't used a lot, and it's one that I really like, but I just haven't come up with some different ways to use it. So I wanted to show you an idea today. So our fragile foliage is going to be in the background, and I want to, what I'm going to do with my paper is I'm going to make a watercolor background. It's a little bit on the bold and graphic side. All right. So I'm going to start off with a piece of Altenew watercolor paper. And this is great. I love it because it is cotton. It's cold pressed and it is very smooth. So it takes an image really well, and it's already pre-cut, which in my book is great. Great. Nancy, I'm with you. Florals and graphic designs. I know, cute critters, not totally my thing. I do okay with them, but they're not totally my thing. All right, so I'm going to put this down, and what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp out my very large tree. I think I want big tree today. Of course, I pulled the wrong thing. I'm going to grab this big tree, big looking tree. Oops. And I want it to be, all right, I'm going to have it be right here. And I'm going to have my sentiment strip kind of come over the side. Yes, pre-cut, Christine. Yes. Silhouette stamps are great. They're good to use. They're really super easy. I love the technique. I do a lot of ombre inking with them. This is a little different because I don't always heat emboss with them, but we're going to heat emboss with them with this guy today. And the reason why I'm going to heat emboss first with him is because I want to preserve this image because I'm about to watercolor over it. So by if I like a certain ink, I can actually clear emboss over this, and that would protect whatever the heck I did. But I'm going to use that platinum embossing powder because I'm kind of into neutrals today. If you notice that, I pulled the blue, the green, because blue and green are really neutrals to me. And then, oh, you know what? Oh, you all were just yelling at me through the screen. I just heard it, by the way. Thank you. You told me, and I'm doing it now. Put down your powder. I heard it, I swear. Okay, so now let me put this down. So I'm going to get this down, and then we're going to ink. We're going to throw some embossing powder over this, and then I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to add some color to a background. All right, so where's my paper? It's here. All right, good thing you guys can't see what's going on off camera right now. All right, here we go. Platinum embossing powder. Here it is. Okay, and here we are. So I'm just going to throw this up at the top. This is my fastest and easiest way to do that, and then I just roll it down. And this is such a striking. This is such a striking image. I just love that. I just love it. To have that nice silhouette. And this, it really is. I was about to say with the word fragile, this is why it's called fragile foliage. But it really does look super nice in here. All right, so I'm just cleaning this up just because I want a really clean look with my watercolors. And I'm going to play around with that just a second. All right, so let me get this going. I'm going to heat emboss this right now. So this is the platinum embossing powder. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat emboss this right now. I don't do a lot of heat embossing on here. Yeah, Carol, isn't this beautiful? Yeah, this is super nice. So we're going to kind of move around this. And I know we don't always think about florals, but this is definitely, I think, using these silhouetted florals in bold and graphic designs kind of help. But the color we're going to add in is that's where our bold is going to end up being. So this is really all about that color in the back. Oh, look at that. Oh, you guys can't see. Beautiful. The shine on here. I wish you guys were with me right now. The shine on here is just really super nice. And even that is just really super pretty. All right. So what I'm going to do is I have a little bit of water. And I have these ink sprays. And so I have some sea glass ink spray. And this is really neat because it's a metallic shimmer. And there's a little bead at the bottom that you need to move that over. Yeah, isn't that deep? Thank you so much. That image, these are the fragile foliage. And they have some really nice sentiments in there as well. So these are just the ink sprays that I have on my desk that I had within reach today. And I'm like, I think I'll use these. So again, we're getting this theme of using neutrals. So I grabbed sea glass, which I know is teal, but it's bluish. I have antique silver. which I'm grabbing. Oh, Stacy, Roxanne does that right at the end. She will announce the winner of the gift card, and thank you for reminding me. If you share this live stream while we are live today, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. And Roxanne will put that on the page at the end of our live stream. So I would say probably about, if you're in the Eastern Standard Time anyway, it would be about 4:35 or so. All right, so I have iridescent, I have antique silver, and I have sea glass. So I'm going to grab first some water. So I'm going to just grab some water, and I have a big wide brush. And these are from the Artist Watercolor set. Artist Watercolor brush set. And they come with a whole series of different size brushes. And this nice, big, huge flat brush is one of them. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush some water on. And I'm not trying to go in streaks. A lot of times I'm like trying to make it perfect. But I want to kind of mess around a little bit with it. And I'm just going to add some water in. And I'm just kind of getting this down, just water in here. Now what I can do is I'm going to come in and I'm just going to spray. Oh God, I didn't think about this before I had this idea. You guys are all looking at me like, yeah, but you're going to get it everywhere. This is true. Okay, here we go. All right, I know I got a lot of white on there and my camera's going a little nuts, so give me a sec. All right, so that is the sea glass, and it just gives this really beautiful blue. And then I'm going to come in with this antique silver. Oh, that's a little. All right, I'm going to smush that around in just a second. And then I have this iridescent, and it's just going to give it a little bit even more shine. And I know you can't see the iridescent, but it just gives it a little bit of shine. All right, so if you're in like, I don't love how that googled up on the bottom, what we're going to do is we can come in with our brush and we can start to move that color around a little bit. And I can even just pick this up. It doesn't move so great, but I'm just going to move this color around. All right, I'm just going to pull that. Silver's a little too much for me down there, but you can see how they start to blend. And I'm just getting a little bit of stuff from, I want to keep a little bit of the granulation from the actual spray. And then, oh, this looks pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit more of that sea glass in because it's a little bit too gray for me right now. So let's see what that looks like with the sea glass. Now, one other thing that I can do is I can actually use my ink pads as well. All right, that just brings in a little bit more of that blue. Okay, so I think I got my cat on that one. All right, so I'm just going to start moving this around. And so you can see this color is just really kind of cool. And with that silver on the back of it, and then it's just really, really metallic-y and shiny from that iridescent. And from the, what's it called? From the sea glass as well, because this is a metallic shimmer. Just really gives it that cool look. I'm going to give it a little bit more blue. Just kind of bring that in. And I know what I'm doing after this live. I got to clean up all this ink from on here. All right, that looks pretty neat. Yeah, that's cool. And it's super easy to do. So all we did was just add some water on there and then just use these ink sprays. And it's a great way to use the ink sprays, but you're getting this bold and graphic design because we have all of this kind of really neat color in the back. All right, let me just grab a wipe on here just to clean up my desk area. All right, I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of heat here. I don't want to heat up that embossing powder though, because I already got that nice and down. All I'm trying to do is just dry out my paper. Oh boy, the shine is really coming through right now. As it dries, woo! All right, so while I'm drying this, what do you think about this as a sentiment? Where would be an occasion that you would give a card like this? What do you guys think? So you notice as I'm drying it, it's starting to flatten out. That's the other reason for shooting, hitting it up with my heat tool. All right. I am using watercolor paper. This is the Altenew watercolor paper, which I love because of the fact that it is I'd already cut for me. It is kind of shiny, but it's not. It's like a muted shine. It's not too crazy. And I like the fact that you have this foliage here. Thoughts of you? I don't think so, Avril. It's like more metallic-y, I think. Let's take a look and let's see how it looks. I do want to cut off the edges of this guy because I just don't like how those totally went there. Yeah, thinking of you. Yeah, those are all good ideas. All right, I'm going to cut off this edge because I don't like it. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's not so bad. There we go. Fix it. I'm going to cut off this edge just a slight bit. I'm going to go right over to foliage. There we go. And I'm just going to cut off this top edge. So I'm not super happy with that guy. Because, Avril, we got to have an edge, right? All right, there's an edge. This would be beautiful on a gray background. I'll see if I can. Yeah, it really does. All right, so let's take a look. I'm going to grab those simple sentiments again. I keep calling them that, and they are not that name because Roxanne is going to help me, though. Out there. All right. Sentiment strips, 1 and 2. And again, there's a third one, but these are super easy. I just grab them. They got a ton of different sentiments. And the font is like a typewriter font. And so that's nice because it's everything's there. Oh, sending healing hugs. Ooh, that one was good. That one would be good. Got to have a layer. You got to have a layer. Absolutely. All right. And you just see that. It's just so pretty, that color. So that's the sea glass, the antique silver, and just a little bit of iridescent. All right. I'm just looking through. Thoughts of you make me smile. With all of my love. That one's a good one. Let me take one. Oh, I get with deepest sympathy. Make me so happy. You're in my heart. Oh, that one's really good. Let's see. Hope you feel better soon. Sending you. Okay, that's not going to be helpful. You're amazing. All right, I think I'm going to go. I really like You're in my heart. I really like You're in my heart. So tough because there's so many good ones. This one's rough. All right, I have Sending Healing Hugs, but I think I'm going to go with Deepest Sympathy, and I'm going to put that right in here. So now I like, if I did this with white, I feel like it's a little too white, but what I'm going to do, so I'm going to pull this aside, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own cardstock with this. So I'm just going to shove this in, and so here is my sentiment strip, and I'm using with Deepest Sympathy, and I'm going to put that on here for a little bit. And I don't have them, but I think like a couple of those enamel dots would look super great. And I apologize, you cannot see what I'm doing right now. So let me move a couple of these ink sprays up, and I'm right here. So all I have is with my Deepest Sympathy. I'm still using that same piece of cardstock that I used at the beginning of this, at the beginning of this live. And I'm just going to use some embossing ink. And I'm going to emboss this again in platinum powder. So let me put this down. And I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to grab this, and we're going to put it in platinum embossing powder. Find my paper. My paper's wet. Let's not use that one. All right. These are all my notes, guys. Don't cheat and take a look. These are all my notes from today. Okay. So here we go. That's with Deepest Sympathy. Okay. There we go. Got a little bit of extra. I know you guys are like, but Amy, of course you did, because you didn't use your little embossing tool. That's all right. I have my debossing nail. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back into play. And I'm going to emboss this. So when I don't have my own cardstock or the right color or something that I just don't have, I just make it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to really quickly use a gray ink. And I'm just going to, once I get this all set, and I'm going to cut it out again with those dies. So I'm going to come back again with the featured sentiments dies. Now I don't want to make this one fat. I think I want to make it thin. So I'm going to grab the thin one. Thank you so much. This one is right here. And I'm going to use this one right here. And I think I'm going to be able to get both of it this time. All right. So again, I didn't do a great job, like, making sure that it was straight while I was using it on the platform, but I can just use the featured sentiment dies in order to get it lined up. So I'm going to grab my mini blossom again, and I'm going to put this one in. All right. So again, we are shopping our stash. That is our goal for today. And I know I just did florals on this, but we're kind of ditching those big open florals and thinking about some bold and graphic cards. And sometimes it's color that makes it a bold and graphic card. And so I really like this card right now because it has such nice color and not such sweet color. All right, so this looks white. I'm going to ask you guys for another favor. I can do one of two things here. So I can keep this white. All right, so this is your choice. Should I keep this white, or I can come in and I can use some gray and make that gray. And then you're going to see that platinum pop up off of that gray. And these featured sentiments dies, super great. All right, so what do you think? White, or should I color that in gray? White, or should I color that sentiment in gray? I like it white. All right, what do you think, guys? Gray. Make it gray. We got it coming in. Make it gray. Make it gray. All right, it is coming out gray. I'm going to tell you, it's super nice. All right, I'm going to grab my blending brush. And then again, these are from the mini blending brush set. They're super nice. And I like them because I can add a little, I can add a lot, and they're just really easy to have around on my desk. All right, so I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab this Cloudy Night from the Gentleman's Gray collection. And I'm just going to put some of this right on my blending brush, and I'm just going to make it gray. And don't worry, that will pop right up. Now, I always start, if I'm not sure exactly the color I want, I always start a little bit lighter. So I grabbed the third color out of the Gentleman's Gray set, which is Cloudy Night. But if I'm feeling it and I'm like, not enough, then I'm going to roll over to Charcoal Suit. And it's so fast to put some color down on here. So super fast. And this way it personalizes it. It gets it to match exactly with what you need. And you're not wasting, paper. So I don't really buy colored paper anymore, because I just make it when I need it. Sometimes it's nice to have, but I just make it when I need it. Ooh, that is super nice. All right, let me show you guys. Actually, I think I like it. I don't think I want to go darker. Hi, Angel. So much for being here. Yeah, light gray. I think it looks nice with the gray. And I'm going to keep that color. I'm going to go over it a little bit more, and then we're going to go over. All right, so this was our second card. So we used the Fragile Foliage, which is this beautiful silhouetted stamp set, and I embossed that with platinum embossing powder. Then we used some ink sprays in order to get that color in the background, which really just pops. Talk about being bold. And then I used our sentiment strips and the featured sentiments die with a little bit of gray ink to put that in. So are you going to buff the saying? Yes, I am. You guys are so good out there. I'm putting it out. Got to grab my cloth. Okay, there we go. And that's our saying. This looks really nice. You could do that in white if you want. But I like it with the platinum because it matches along. And so let me just get a little bit of foam tape on this. And I'm going to let this dry just a little bit more, and then I'll put it on the back of a card. I'm thinking of that going on a gray card base, and if I'm lucky, I have one in my stash already pre-cut. And guess what? Today, I am not lucky. I am not lucky. All right, I have this beautiful green-gray color for, that doesn't look good. I don't have gray. But with a white background, that would look really pretty. But I think a light gray cardstock would do really great. Yeah, the platinum, oh, keep it white. Thanks, Stacey. I think so, because otherwise the gray might bring it down. I agree. All right, so I'm just going to cut this off if I could find my scissors. Don't have them. And all right, so I'm going to put this on. All right, I got about 8 minutes, and I want to show you guys the plan for my last card. So I'm just going to put this right on there. So that's with Deepest Sympathy. So that's our second card. So those are our 2 cards for right now. And I'm going to try this last one. So let me just take a second to clean some stuff up. And this, the first item I'm going to use is very new to me. And I think it came out in the December release. And it is a stencil. And it is called the Color Swatches Stencil. And I want to know if anybody else grabbed this. And I know it's color swatching and it looks like color swatching, but I looked at it and I'm like, I can do anything with that. I think it is so cool. So I'm curious if anybody else grabbed this. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for that was a good idea with the white. We'll keep that white. So for using the shapes, yeah, it's really great. I think you can take it and turn it in any way. So with my little 5 minutes that I got left, I'm going to show you guys what I want to do today. This is my last stamp set that I wanted to use, and this is another silhouetted one. And this one is called Line Art. And I'm going to grab this grouping over here, and let me just show you what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to do the same thing where I put this on the corner of my paper. I'm going to use this paper landscape again, but on purpose this time, not accidental landscape like the other one. And I'm just going to stick this right on the edge. Okay, you guys can see it. I apologize. Let me move this business. Okay, so I'm going to, I haven't used this before, so let me really quickly put this out. And today we are talking about, and you have about 5 more minutes, guys, if you want to share this and get into the drawing to win a $15 gift card to Altenew if you share this live stream. And Roxanne will announce that winner at the end of our session today, which will be in about 5 minutes. All right, let me see if I can knock this card out. I knew it was a little bit like, wasn't going to totally get it today, but I wanted to show you this stencil. So we're going to do this real quick, and then I'll stencil, and then we will call it a day. All right, put that here. And I need my paper. All right, so let me put this platinum. This platinum is really great. I love it for neutrals like this. And it's just this really nice, soft gray. And it's so pretty. Now, you could also take this. I'm just in the interest of time. I'm only going to do 1 layer, but I think 2 layers on this would have been really super nice. And again, using these florals that are silhouetted really helps to take a bold and graphic design and just really kind of push it up. All right, so this was platinum embossing powder, and then I'm going to pull in the Color Swatches stencil. And I'm going to add 1 more color family to our grouping today, and that's the Fall Harvest color family. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with all of this in just a second when I get this all heated up. Look how pretty that is with the platinum. Oh my goodness. Love it. All right, beautiful with that platinum. Let it cool down. Okay, so this is a series of color swatches. And I'm going to grab, I had a hard time picking which one I wanted to use today. And on my way home from work, I decided I want to use this one. I was actually going to use this, but I think I'm going to use this one. And what I want to do with this is I want to make a repeating pattern across the bottom. And I want to do it in blue, green, and then this harvest, this fall harvest. And I picked like really, you know, I really tried to pick colors today that were neutrally, but I just want to show you what I'm going to do here. All right, so let me put this down. And I know my paper is a little on the warpy side, but let me start on this edge so I can show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to put this right in the corner. Now, this fall harvest, these are really muted colors. So I'm going to grab from here this pumpkin pie. And I'm going to start a little bit darker up on the edge of this. And I want to take that color and I'm going to make it a little bit lighter moving down towards the top. So that's what I want to do. And so when I pull this off, which I will do in just a second, and just a little bit lighter on the top, you can see this really cool graphic kind of design. So I'm going to repeat that up at the top. And then I'm going to go right along. And then now my next color will be green, and then I'll move over to the blue. All right, so I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to do my best to line this up. And normally I would grab a ruler, but in the interest of time, I'm just doing it a little bit eyeballing this. But normally I would grab a ruler and really make sure that everything kind of lines up for me. All right, and this is pumpkin pie that I'm using from the fall harvest set. And I just like this color. It's like an orangey yellow, and it's really muted. And so I'm trying to get an ombre effect where it's a little darker and then a little lighter. So you can see you have this really, really great. I know, and that's the whole thing. It's like I buy these things and then I hope that, you know, I don't use them. So I was glad to kind of pull this out and use it today. All right, so let me wipe that off. And I may end up not doing the blue because I don't know where I want to go with this here. All right, so I'm going to push this over to the side, and I'm just going to do the green just to give you guys an idea of what I wanted to do with this card. So I know we're just about ending our time today. And what's nice about this stencil is I have so many different patterns to choose from. And if I want to do something a little bit different, or I want to make my own pattern, I can do that. So you can see we're just darkening that up. And then I'm going to grab this and I'm going to do my best to lining it up. And I know I'm eyeballing it because in the interest of time, and I'm going to put that in here. So I wanted to know what you guys think about, or what you thought about today's cards. Are you inspired to kind of go out and shop your stash, see what it is that you have, pull out something that you haven't used yet, and then connect it with maybe something that you have used? And yeah, I do that same thing, Teresa. I just kind of buy it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use it. And then I just don't. And then I'm like, oh man, I gotta use it and put that in. All right. Now my next one, I'm just going to do the blue right along here. And so this is Eastern Sky, and I'm going to end right on this one. All right. And then after this, I'll come on up and we'll have a little goodbye chat. And then I will show you our 3 cards from today. All right, I probably could have gone with Northern Shore, which is a little bit mutier blue, but I really like this lapis lazuli set. And because we put that down, that the embossing powder down, our flower is totally protected. So that's why I started with that first. So I don't even have to worry about that. All right, so what do you guys think? So I could actually finish this up with a little bit of purple, but it just gives this really nice, cool graphic. I have the perfect space for a little sentiment there. And then that's great. I think I might actually go and do a purple, like from Sugar Plums over on this side, and that would just really look super nice. But you have this, and then for Sue, I will make sure that I buff this so it looks good and shiny. And that's how I would finish it up. So I'd put a sentiment here, and then I would do purple, and that's going to be great. One of the things I was going to use is this, which is the Mega Brush Alpha. And this is a great set. This is really bold, but you can spell out any word you want. And these are really, really super nice and bold. And those would look perfect here, like with a little hello, or, how are you doing, or happy. I was going to do happy and then birthday. So I thought that those would look great. All right. So those are our cards from today. So we have the one that we did with the spray, and then we have our birthday card with the warp stencil. So I hope you enjoyed our time today. And I wanted to say thank you so much for joining me today. And I really appreciate all of your comments. I really appreciate everything. And I hope that you take these ideas, and it's really, it's not about whether it's a floral card or a masculine card or a bold and graphic card. It's really about sending that card, and it's really about sharing the joy that you get in making that card with the joy that somebody gets in receiving that card. So take a moment, please, right now, grab a card from your stash, put somebody's address on it, throw a note in it, and send it off to somebody. So yeah, I know, Donna. I'm going to add that purple in right now because I'm like, oh, that's great. So I want to give a huge shout out to Roxanne. Thank you so much for being behind the badge today. And I will see you guys later on Amy's Inspiration Station. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful and crafty day.